students. So as you all know, we have completed the introductory part of P block elements. We have solved many questions related to that. Now we are continuing this topic, P block elements, and I'm taking 13th group. Okay, so let us see the important questions related to 13th group elements. So here also I have taken part by part again. So first related to say the electronic configuration, atomic radius and ionization energy, and later on we'll continue with the other properties. So let us take the first question. Which of the following correctly describes the inner electronic core of thallium? Okay, so we are discussing about 13th group. In 13th group, we have boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium. That means thallium is the last one, last element, right? So you know that up to here, aluminium, you don't have any d electrons, right? Only s and p electrons you have. Whereas when you take this gallium, you will have d electrons. So this is the last element we have, thallium. Okay, so in thallium you will have both d electrons and f electrons. Okay, so 10 d electrons and also you have 14 f electrons along with the noble gas core. So this is the right answer here, first one, noble gas core plus 14 f electrons plus 10 d electrons. Okay, next question. Which of the following represents the correct descending order of abundance by mass in the Earth's crust for the given elements? See, here this is related to the abundance of elements, right? So here it is little memory based, means you should know what is the actual order. And this is bit like general knowledge question as well. Like you will be knowing oxygen is the highest, right? Then silicon, then we have aluminium. So here boron is given last. It doesn't mean that it is in fourth position when we consider all the elements, but in this particular order we have oxygen highest, then silicon, then aluminium, and finally boron. So B is the right answer here. Okay, next. Which of the following compounds is identified as kernite? Okay, that means which compound is named like this. So here we have few compounds in which you have boron and also you have aluminium. Okay, that means we have 13th group elements here. So you should know certain compounds names here. So this one, first one, when you consider H3BO3, that is orthoboric acid. Orthoboric acid. And this one is called cryolite. Cryolite, Na3AlF6, and this is kernite, Na2B4O7.4H2O. Here you have 4 water of crystallization molecules, and if you have 10 water of crystallization molecules, that is called borax. Okay, so you should know all these names here. Yes, next one. Which of the following statements about the metallic character of group 13 elements is incorrect according to the provided text? So first we should check this properly, whether they are asking correct or incorrect. That is very important. So here it is asked incorrect. So first one, it is given boron is a typical non-metal. That is correct. Then aluminium is a metal. Yes, and shows no chemical similarities to boron. This is not correct, right? Because you know, whenever the elements are present in same group, they show similar chemical properties. Okay, so it's a metal and shows no chemical similarities is incorrect. So B is incorrect here. Then it is given gallium is almost exclusively metallic. Yes, as you move down the group, metallic nature will increase. The group as a whole shows a wide variation in properties. Yeah, as a whole, if we consider all the properties like say ionization energy or radius, physical properties, then there is a wide variation. Okay, so all these statements are correct. B is incorrect. Then, okay, here we have assertion and reason. So, assertion says atomic radius of gallium is less than that of aluminium. Okay, then reason says the additional 10d electrons in gallium offer a highly effective screening effect for the outer electrons. See, when we have this boron, aluminium, gallium, actually, down the group, radius has to increase, right? But what happens? Here you have d electrons, which are poor shielders. They have poor shielding effect. When the shielding is poor, what happens? The effective nuclear charge will increase. That means the pull of nucleus on the outermost electron is more. So the size will decrease. Okay, size will be less than expected. So what happens here? Atomic radius of this gallium will become less than this aluminium. Okay, so that statement or the assertion is true here. Then, if we look at the reason, the additional 10d electrons in gallium offer highly effective screening. They're saying effective screening. Okay, it's not correct. It is actually poor screening. Screening or shielding. So it is poor. It is not highly effective. So reason is false. So here A is true and R is false. B is the right answer. Next, the decrease in the first ionization enthalpy from boron to aluminium is primarily associated with. See, when you go from boron to aluminium down the group, ionization energy has to decrease, right? It is the normal trend. So here, when you have boron and aluminium, you don't have any concept of d orbitals, poor shielding, nothing you have, right? It is the normal reason, that is size reason. That means here as you move down the group, atomic size will increase. So ionization energy will decrease. So it is due to an increase in atomic size. Okay, so they have given here poor shielding of d electrons in aluminium. No, we don't have d electrons in aluminium, right? Then decrease in shielding effect of yes, presence of completely filled P. No, those are not the reasons. Here it is according to the normal trend. Then, which of the following represents the correct increasing order of atomic radii for the elements of group 13? Okay. See, this order here in group 13 is very important. Okay. So, you have few exceptions here. Like when you consider boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium, actually down the group size has to increase, right? So when you go from boron to aluminium, size will increase. Okay, but when you go to gallium, size will decrease because of what? Poor shielding of d electrons. Okay, poor shielding of d electrons here. Then when you come to indium, again it is d electrons, same as gallium. So what happens is size will increase. Okay, normal trend. Then when you go from indium to thallium, actually here you have d and f electrons. Okay, both are poor shielders. So actually you expect that size has to decrease, right? But it is not decrease here. Just whatever we expect, that much increase won't happen. Okay, say that means for example we expect 100 units increase For example, you imagine that indium has 200 units, then we expect that thallium has to be 300 units radius. But what happens? It will increase just from say 200 to 204. That's it. Very less increase. Okay. So that is again because of what? Poor shielding. Whatever has to increase, it's not happening because of poor shielding of D and F electrons. Okay. So that means the exception, that means exact opposite trend will happen only here. Remember this. Okay. So only aluminium and gallium will have reverse trend. That means first boron, then gallium, aluminium, indium, thallium. So B should be the right answer here. Okay. Just the order. Yes. Next. Okay. Which of the following represents the correct decreasing order of first ionization enthalpies for the elements of group 13? Okay. See, only this question will be given, not this graph. This graph I have drawn for your understanding. See, now also, when we consider boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium, down the group ionization energy has to decrease. Right. But here again, due to the presence of d electrons in these and due to the presence of d and f here, okay, there is poor shielding. So due to that poor shielding, what happens? First, from boron to aluminium, ionization energy will decrease. Okay. But then from here to here, it will increase. Okay. Then again, from gallium to indium, it will show the normal trend. But from indium to thallium, again it will increase. So in both the cases here, there is exception. Okay. But due to that exception, the variation in values is huge. Okay. So you cannot just expect that you just exchange the position of aluminium and gallium and these two. We cannot expect like that. The thallium, this particular element, last element, will have very higher value. That is, for example, when I consider this, see the graph here, we have boron. Okay. So down the group, what has to happen? It has to decrease, right? So aluminium has less. See, this is the value, ionization energy against atomic number. So aluminium having lesser than boron. But then towards gallium, it increased. Okay, it is of course more than aluminium. Then towards indium, it decreased. Okay, it decreased lesser than aluminium. Okay, it went to this value. Then from indium to thallium, it increased. But where it is? It is here. Okay, so now look at the order. So boron you have, next which one you have? You got thallium. Okay, boron highest, but next comes thallium. Remember. Then gallium, aluminium, and indium. Indium is least. Okay, so this is the right answer here. It is a bit difficult to remember, so you can remember it in the form of graph W. Okay, it is W. You have to write W like this. So these points you can remember: boron, aluminium, gallium, indium, and thallium. Okay, accordingly you can see the values. It is very easy to remember. I hope this trick is very helpful. Okay, so we have solved these questions today related to 13th group. That's all for today, students. If you want to level up your skills with us, make sure to like, share, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much.